Hi guys, my name is Susie and today we're going to have a very good debate topic. So today's debate topic is going to be about, is privacy important for children? So here are some of my reasons and I think why? Because I think privacy is very important for children. So here are some of my reasons. First of all is that privacy. Privacy means that sometimes we want to be alone and we do not want anyone else to see us or maybe listen to the things that we want to say or show with that. So that's called privacy. So sometimes if children doesn't get privacy, so that's not very fair because everyone gets privacy except for children. That's very unfair, right? So first of all, the unfairness. So everyone should be treated equally. So children, if adults has privacy, children should have privacy too. It's not like that only grown-ups can get privacy while children can't. Secondly, is that privacy is very important for us because lots of things in this world are bad, and we do not want the bad things to see us in our private things, right? The private things that may be something that you never want to show anyone, and especially parents. Parents think that privacy is not very good for children because if they have too much privacy, they may do something bad like that. But sometimes the parents just barge in the middle of something private, and that's not good at all. That's why I think children should always have privacy. Just think of it, just we're doing something private with like a surprise or a secret. Some of your parents just barge in and start seeing things and want to look around like that and just want to find out what we're doing. It might feel embarrassing and also annoying too. Sometimes parents are like that, but most parents let children have too much privacy. Like they just don't care for their children. They just leave the children all alone. Well, that's also called privacy, right? But they just leave the children all alone. And sometimes these private things can be dangerous, like a secret. Something like, for example, my my cousin or your cousin or your brother or maybe one of your friends is trying to do some private things like making a fire without your parents' help or learning something expensive or sending money to someone or doing something. So that all contains privacy. But parents so sometimes it's good to have privacy, but sometimes it's actually not. So let's just say that privacy is important for everyone because there's lots of bad guys in this world, and if they get our private things, private information, for example, like our name, our birthday, where we live, like that, they could pretend to be us and they could trick other people, and in the end, you'll do all the blaming, of course. So these are all my ideas. Thank you for listening, guys. So I love your idea, my friend, but I disagree with you. Why? Because I think that children should have too much privacy. So, guys, I know that everyone needs privacy for some things, but sometimes these privacies can lead to some misunderstanding or misfortune, of course. So let me start with my first idea, of course, is safety. So, kids, curious little children, kids, they are curious little things and they want to explore. But sometimes when parents have let them have privacy, not interfering their lives, it might lead to something bad. So sometimes when we're having privacy, we might do some bad things. So children, curious brains, curious little things like that, they always want to explore. They just want to try it. They just think that more bubbles the better, or maybe the more the better, or the more the merrier like that. So maybe for example, a kid who parents who let too much privacy, they think they might start doing bad things. So their parents told leave them leave them to have lots of privacy to study. But in the end, they just do something else instead of studying, like playing games like that, for example. That's one of the best reasons I could find. So, anyways, let's just say that privacy might be important for everyone, but safety is one of the most. So even though the rules of the children's rules says that children should have privacy, but doesn't say that children should have privacy all the time. Sometimes parents should have to interfere a little bit to stop them from doing the bad habits. Of course, you never know what will happen to the children. Instead, why don't you just stop them before they could do something weird or strange or maybe dumb again? For example, like that. So, secondly, is that everyone knows that children could be a handful, and if we let them to have too much privacy on their own stuff, it might lead to some misunderstanding. So, maybe teenagers, especially, they love privacy, but they never. They love privacy, but they never, ever want their parents to interfere. But these could lead to something like they might have some too much privacy alone time that they might start to do some other things. Do some other things like for example smoking or maybe spray painting or maybe doing or going out sneaking out in the middle of the night if they're in a private room like that. These are all the reasons I think that why children shouldn't get too much privacy. Privacy is important, but too much could be misfortune and maybe not very good at all. It may cause some trouble for them and trouble for the parents too. Lots of teenagers these days love privacy so much that they just want to shut everything out of the real world and be on their gaming world because no one wants them to be like that, right? But that's why privacy could cost some things like that. But let's just say that there are lots of private things that we could do, like maybe doing our personal stuff. But we shouldn't have too much privacy. Sometimes when parents interfere, you shouldn't get angry because they just want to look out for you, and when they scold you, they just want you to learn your lessons. So in the end, I think that children should have too much privacy. So these are all my ideas. Thank you for listening. Bye.